بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Our program Secrets of Fasting, and this is Dr. Tariq Rashid. We mentioned in the previous episode some of the things that Muslims are recommended to do during the Ramadan, which is the Sunnah. Now, to continue with some of the other practices that is highly recommended to follow, as our Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam recommended us to practice such Sunnah in Ramadan, is praying and in the mosque. So you go with Al-Jama'ah, and also sitting in the mosque. If you have the time, you can sit in the mosque and read Al-Quran, waiting for the next Salah. Is highly recommended in the days of Ramadan because you will get more benefits and credit in such cases. Reading Al-Quran in Ramadan is very important. So you go, you read by your mind, you read by your heart, you understand more. You try actually to go for finishing reading Al-Quran for several times, what we call Al-Khitmah, which means that you finish reading Al-Quran. It's highly recommended more than one time if you can do it during Ramadan. It's one of the practices that Muslims are recommended to do during Ramadan. And of the other sunan, we have al-i'tikaf. And al-i'tikaf, to sit the last 10 days in the mosque, totally you are with God, totally reading, praying, thanking, dua for Allah. So one of the sunan from our Prophet Muhammad is al-i'tikaf. It is a highly recommended sunnah. If you can do it, it's highly recommended. Also, the other sunnah is at-Taraweeh. And at-Taraweeh is praying after al-Isha. So once we do al-Isha, and usually it is done in the mosque, so we can go for 8 ruk'ah or 20 ruk'ah for at-Taraweeh. And the other sunnah that we are highly recommended to practice during Ramadan is to being positive with people, feeling with people, helping people, and helping your society. So once Muslims keep doing all these sunan, then God will support us. And these are actually recommended. And let's see in the Al-Quran, al-ayat that says the following. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما آتاكم الرسول فخذوه وما نهاكم عنه فانتهوا. So the Quran, the Holy Quran, is directing us to follow our Prophet Muhammad. So what our Prophet Muhammad was doing, we are to follow and do the same. So this is the concept of the Sunnah is supported here in Al-Quran. Also, وَمَنْ يُطَعِ الرَّسُولَ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهِ. So if you obey our Prophet Muhammad, you are actually obeying God. And this is again a Sunnah, the practice of his Prophet Muhammad during his life, practice in Ramadan, practice in praying, practice with people. We have to set as an example. Our Prophet Muhammad is our example in life, so we have to follow. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لقد كان لكم في رسول الله أسوة حسنة. And the Quran says that Muhammad is actually an example for all of us, and we have to follow. Actually, each pillar and each ibadah in Islam has its own sunan. So you'll find, for example, in as-salah and in praying, we have a sunan. And also in fasting, we have a sunan to follow our Prophet Muhammad. Al-Hajj has its sunan, and even az-zakah, which again it's a fard, has its sunan. So Muslims follow what our Prophet Muhammad has done, and this is again a sunan in Al-Quran. So this is completing our discussion about sunan in Al-Quran, and I recommend you, my brothers and sisters, to follow our Prophet Muhammad as an example. So read more about his practice during Ramadan, during fasting, and this to follow what he has recommended us to do. Now let's go for what we call makruhat al-sawm, what are the things that do not break fasting, but it's actually not preferable to do in Ramadan while you are fasting. This is called makruhat. It's not recommended to do, but it does not break fasting. The first is exaggerating al-madmada and taking water during al-wudu in your mouth, and you exaggerate. This is highly prohibited, and it's not recommended to do such thing. Our Prophet Muhammad عليه الصلاة والسلام said, إذا توضأت فأسبغ الوضوء وخلل بين الأصابع وبالغ في الاستنشاق إلا أن تكون صائما. So our Prophet Muhammad said, you have to go and for al-wudu, and then you go for between fingers, and you exaggerate taking water in your mouth and in your nose, except if you are fasting. You are not to practice this exaggeration of water inside the mouth or during madmada and al-istinshaq. Also things that are hated to do, although does not break fasting, but you are not recommended to practice, is continuity of fasting. So it's iftar, but you continue fasting for 2 days or 3 days. This is actually not recommended because it will affect your health, your energy, even your emotions, your focus. So this is actually not recommended to practice such issue during Ramadan. So our Prophet Muhammad عليه الصلاة والسلام said, لا تواصلوا. They said, وقالوا إنك تواصل. قال أنا لست مثلكم إني أبيت يطعمني ربي ويسقيني. So our Prophet Muhammad said, don't continue fasting. So when a Sahaba said, but you continue fasting, he said, my God, feed me and give me drink, so you are not like me. So don't continue fasting. Third thing that is actually prohibited to be practiced and does not break fasting but not recommended to do, which is makruhat, is kisses and hugs between wives and husbands. So not approaching, but kisses and hugs. And this is one of the practices that people may forget to notice. So you have to take care of such cases. Also, one of the mistakes that people may consider during Ramadan is that not considering Ramadan as a holy month, just feeling Ramadan like other types of months, and this is actually not the case. We have to welcome Ramadan. We have actually to celebrate the coming of Ramadan, in which one of the most important months in the year where there are gifts from God. So consider Ramadan and welcome Ramadan and celebrate the coming of Ramadan. This is highly recommended. So to summarize, fasting in Ramadan is a must, but we have certain conditions to follow. We have sunan that is highly recommended to follow, and you have to also notice the things that abolish fasting, and in such a case you either go for fidya, qada, or kafara, or there are the things that are not preferable to do in Ramadan. Now let's go for what we call precedence of fasting. What are the surpluses and the positive issues that actually combine Ramadan? The first is what we call piety increases, or at-taqwa increases. And at-taqwa, in such a case, it's a high value in al-Islam, at-taqwa. But what is a value? Again, to remind you, value is a principle. And this principle, once you believe it, it should be reflected in your attitude. So at-taqwa will appear in all of your actions. Actions of your body, actions of your mind, actions of your heart. So piety is a highly recommended value which is reflected in all issues of Muslim. Also, at-taqwa in its meaning means strength. So whenever you have practicing types of fasting, so the value of piety or at-taqwa increases, and actually your strength increases, strength of resisting a shaitan or the devil from allowing some issues in your actions. So this is the piety, and it is actually the opposite of guilty, or the opposite of guilty. So this is piety. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اتقوا النار التي أعدت للكافرين. And so God said that you have to protect yourself from an-nar, and this is again is at-taqwa. So taqwa is preventing, strengthening. Also, God is always has beauty and greatness. Beauty of God by providing and promising for people who obey God with positive issues. But greatness appears, al-jalal lillah, is that threatening people who go for al-muharramat and do things that God actually prevent us from doing. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب. And in this ayah, piety opens all doors of a blessing from God. So as-siyam and fasting will increase piety at-taqwa. In Al-Hujurat, ayah number 13, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. صدق الله العظيم. So here Islam does not distinguish between people or gender except at-taqwa. So at-taqwa is the piety, is the immunity that we are given by practicing fasting. Also our Prophet Muhammad said عليه الصلاة والسلام لا فرق لعربي على أعجمي إلا بالتقوى, which means there is no difference in Islam based on race, on gender, on nationality. There is no such issue in Islam. Piety is the criteria. As much as you are pietous, you are approaching more towards achieving high levels in Al-Jannah. And once we reach piety, which is a very highest value, all types of other values will go because piety will increase all blessings. So in the Prophet Yusuf story with Al-Aziz's wife, Inni akhafullah. So Prophet Yusuf said, I am afraid of God. So piety is there, and once Prophet Yusuf obey this, then he get actually high level in with Al-Aziz. In Surah Yusuf, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اجعلني على خزائن الأرض إني حفيظ عليم. So testing this value will increase your appreciation by others. Even by yourself, you appreciate more yourself. So this is piety, and our Prophet Muhammad said that piety is here. So he said, التقوى ها هنا وأشار إلى صدره, which means it's in the heart. And now, once piety is there, prevention is there, fear from God is there, reaching happiness, and inshallah going to heaven. So this is one of the main surpluses of fasting or as-siyam. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. So the idea of fasting is clear in this ayah. The idea is to increasing piety, at-taqwa. So God also by all types of ibadat we are increasing at-taqwa. So this is the first surplus or benefit from Ramadan. The second is you are resisting the devil. You are resisting a shaitan from entering to your life, to your actions. And this is one also of the best precedents of fasting to prevent الشيطان. أن الشيطان يجري من الإنسان مجرى الدم. By fasting, you prevent الشيطان from affecting you negatively. So these are two important surpluses or precedents of fasting in Ramadan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our program, Secrets of Fasting, and this is Dr. Tariq Rashid.